anytime the opportunity arises, whether in the virtual amp modeling world or in the real world, that I have the opportunity to play through a VOX amp or have a session or a situation arise where a VOX amp is the right tone I'm looking for, I always get excited. I really love plugging into this style of amplifier. So today in Amplitube 5, I am going to take a look at dialing in some killer VOX style tones. And we're going to be using the British Copper TB30, which is a model of the VOX AC30 top boost. I really like this model in Amplitube 5, and it was a lot of fun working with this. So I'm going to have the preset that I create in this video available on my website as a free download. You guys can grab it from the link below, enjoy it, add to it, build off of it, and do whatever you feel inclined to do with it. And I hope it works out really well for you. But at the same time, I also, as of today, have available my Top Boost Ultimate Preset Bundle, which is a 7 preset bundle with the presets you're going to hear today, as well as some other gain levels of it. So it's going to go right from clean to push, kind of to overdrive, and even a lead. Some of those are going to have a full array of effects using some of the X Gear virtual pedals, and some of the pedals in that bundle won't. All you really need is a license for Amplitube 5 to use 3 of the presets in that bundle. And if you want to use all of them, you will need the licenses for the X Gear virtual pedals. But I'm going to have a demo video of all of those tones later in this video. But for now, we want to get over to Amplitube 5 and let's get a great VOX style tone out of this model. So here we are over in Amplitube 5. I am playing my Vigier Expert Strat style guitar, but I'm going to also let you hear this preset played with a couple other guitars, some P90s and some humbucker pickups later in the video. Before we dive into the actual amp settings, let's go to the end of my signal chain. Anybody who watches my videos knows I love this little, what I call the mastering section at the end, which is an LA2A style compressor, the white 2A. And I just set that so I get maybe half a dB, a dB, at the most 2 dB of gain reduction when I'm really maybe digging in hard. And I always like to put this Neve style EQ81 equalizer at the end. I like the character it gives, and I also like to just tweak the preset to make it more mix ready, whether we're planning on using it live or in the studio, and it just gives it that polish it needs. But for now, I'm going to turn that off. So starting at the cabinet, I just paired it up with the combo speakers that come up by default with this amp model. Kind of made the most sense to me. So it's a 212 British vintage cab you see here, and I decided to use the normal mic I always like to use, which is the Ribbon 121, but I also threw on a dynamic mic in this case, which I found suited this very nicely. But I'm using the Dynamic 421, which is a model of the Sennheiser MD 421. And on the room mics, I have the standard kind of condenser 87. So let's take a look where these microphones are and how I have them balanced. So I have the Royer R120 or the Ribbon 121 volume set at -8 dB at a 45-degree angle, and I have it pulled back basically dead center to the cone, but back as far as I can get it. And like I said, -8 dB on that. But the 421 is where we're getting the bulk of the tone on this preset. And it's set with a -2 dB volume setting. You'll notice I have it dead center right on the cone. A lot of times you have to be careful here because you can get some very abrasive tones. And it's actually suited this preset. And I also found that by kind of blending in the R121, it kind of tamed some of that. But I also wanted a little bit of grit to this. I wanted it to be able to cut in the mix, and you'll hear later how these tones work in the mix. And then with the room mics, I simply pulled those back to like -30 dB just to get a little bit of room ambience in our sound, so it doesn't sound so direct and dry. Moving on to the amp, I have the top boost section turned on with the bass on 10, treble on 7.6, normal volume on 5, the brilliant control on 5.5, and I didn't utilize the vibrato or trem in this particular preset, but you can obviously, save different versions of this preset by adding in whatever trem or vibrato you actually want. It's a very nice addition on this amplifier. And I'm glad they modeled it on this model within Amplitube 5. Really nice stuff. Now, the other thing I did do, though, is I threw in a little bit of this overscream, which, as we can tell, is a tube screamer. I brought the tone way down on this to 0.21. I think that's really important with this model. This can be a really awful sounding model in Amplitube. If you got to really watch that tone. And I just added about 3.02 on the overdrive and 6.33 on the level just to hit the front of that amp harder to give me a little more grit. And I was really kind of liking what that did. So let's turn that off too. We'll come over here. We'll just hear what you're getting with this preset. Now you're going to have this sound and then you'll have the second sound. This will be kind of more clean. Then you'll have the second sound by kicking in the overdrive to give you a little bit of that push sound. I kind of created this to be used with the overdrive, but you do have both in here. Now keep in mind we have our little mastering section off at the end. I'm on my neck pickup on my Strat style guitar here. If I go to the bridge pickup, okay, so there's that tone. Now, let's come to our mastering section at the end. I'm going to turn this on. I'm going to take out the EQ81. Let's listen to what this does and how much compression we get out of this. So you'll notice the needle's barely moving, but I just like the little squish sound that gives when we engage it. Now we'll bring the EQ in. So here is it before the EQ. This is where you're going to hear the biggest difference. Back to the neck pickup. If I turn that all off, we get this. We've got some low end and some mud in there that may not work well in a mix. Just gives us some polish to the tone. Now, the interesting part is come back over here to the tube screamer. Here's the sound without. If I take that down to the bridge pickup, and again, coming back to this mastering section at the end, if we take that out, notice how everything gets a little tubby and muddy. That just cleans it up and is going to make it sit nicer in a mix. How does this sound with humbucker pickups? Here I have my Vigier GV Wood with amber humbucking pickups. If I take the overdrive off, Neck pickup. And finally, let's try with some P90s. Here I am with my GV Wood solid body with P90s. To the neck pickup. All right, what did you guys think of those tones? This one preset, which like I mentioned before, is available for free at my website now. You can go to the link below. You can get a couple cool tones out of it. You're going to have a nice clean tone without that tube screamer on, and then we can engage that and get a little more bite. It has a nice edge to it that works really well in the mix. And speaking of that, I'd like you to hear how this preset, along with some others from my Top Boost Ultimate preset pack that's available at the link below at my website as well, how those all work together in a mix in this little demo that I kind of dug up. It was an old demo I used for something else. I reamped all the raw tracks, which I always have available, and wanted to hear what they sound like with this preset. So without further ado, let's take a listen to that. All right, what did you guys think? I thought they worked really nicely. I was happy with the way that track came out. All of those different elements sat nicely in the mix, and this preset and the whole Top Boost Ultimate preset bundle is a real blast to play through, and I hope you guys enjoy it too. So if you want to grab the free preset or the bundle, you can go down to the links below in the description, go to my website and grab those and enjoy it. And I hope you guys have as good a time playing through them as I had creating them. So thank you guys again so much for tuning in. Please like the video, share it with anybody who you think would get some use or enjoyment out of watching it. And also please subscribe to the channel and hit the little bell notification to get notified when I put new content out. I'll be back really soon with some more. Thank you guys again so much for tuning in. Ciao for now.